What is up, my little Danos? WebCC, your coach of the Helsinki Adregas, and I'm here for my Week 8 battle versus CB Marcus for the Ubers Draft League. And this is versus a good friend of mine that I got to meet in person in London, alongside with Addison that we were hanging out with, and a few other people from Draft League scene that I happen to know from the showdown side of the community. So, good friend of mine, somebody that I rarely can say from Draft League scene that I can say that I met in person, which is a cool thing. And I end up doing this as a post commentary for a couple of reasons. One, we end up playing this game casually in call with CB Marcus for this week. So I didn't end up having audio for this battle when we were in call, and there was also Cutie Costa Rican from the PBL also in the same call watching the game. But I decided to record this audio for the battle in itself on my behalf, mainly because I wanted to be able to address few things going forward for my side of the things, where I kind of stand within Draft League wise, and what's ahead, coming ahead from you, just to get a heads out where my mind is at with it, because it's gonna affect my channel and uploading going forward. So basically, as you may have noticed already if you've been following my channel and tried to follow two of my draft leagues that I tried to play at the same time, this being the Ubers Draft League, where I have the Requays and stuff, and then I had the Sun team with the Great Tusk and Open Terra Walking Wake. With the latter league, with the Walking Wake and the Sun team, I unfortunately did have to drop out from that league because I started to notice how little time I actually have in my hands to be able to prepare for both leagues at the time. And unfortunately, I had to make a call and cut it short from week 4 onwards, basically, for the league, that I had to break the news for Will, who runs the league, that I cannot just unfortunately continue this. I just don't have the time and energy to keep up with it, alongside with work and other interests that I have in my life. So that was one of the things I wasn't able to address at the time, but I wanted to give at least that kind of context to it, in case you were curious of what happened with that league. And the follow-up to it, for this Ubers Draft League, is that this actually ends up being my last game, even though we do have technically for regular season week 9 battles still. But for my behalf, I've already started to feel the burnout from my perspective throughout this league, as well afterwards. Even dropping out from the other league, I thought at first that okay, maybe one league at the time will just do it and I'll find the time and energy to keep up with this, and I'll maybe feel less burnout from things. Maybe it was just me taking 2 leagues at a time that was too much for me, that I've noticed for myself, even in the past. But after my game versus Nexus in week 6, that I was like really looking forward to do, because I never got to play him before, and he was somebody that I had kind of like checkmarked as one of the people that I would still love to play at least once before I call it quits. Once I had that battle done with Nexus, I started to notice that I am still really feeling the burnout, and I really have hard time to get myself to really preparing myself in a way that I want to do, because there is a certain expectations that I have for myself when I go into my battles. I'm not type of the person that is able to like prepare an hour or 2 or even less time before the battle and just jump into it and see what happens. I'm a type of a person who ends up spending a lot of time, too much time you could argue, to my draft league games, and that's partially why I usually try to keep my amount of leagues that I play at the time at very lowest, because I know how obsessed I can get with it and how I want to prepare for the games, because that's part of the like team building is one of my favorite part of the draft league, besides the drafting itself. Everybody's favorite part of the draft league in itself is the drafting part, right? But for me, otherwise, I do enjoy at my best the team building portion, because I love be able to find solutions even for the most difficult matchups, how I can come up with the idea to win this game. And that's usually where most of my energy goes into. And my battles, when they go well, they are just about that preparation that I had to go into it, and the scenarios that I already had ideas of what could come up at me at the real time, and I'm able to address with them. And that usually goes well, especially in a Wi-Fi scene wise, where you have less time, that you do have to spend this amount of effort prepping wise to acknowledge these kind of scenarios ahead of time when you're at your A game, at least for my side at least. But throughout this season, towards the second half of the season, like after my game versus Nexus, I just could not feel myself able to provide that for my side that I kind of want to be able to do for my end, to fully enjoy the traffic in itself, to be able to go through that grind and be able to find those solutions and find enjoyment by doing that. I haven't been able to put that kind of effort and time into it anymore as I would have liked to, because, you know, this is only a hobby for me, and I do have to worry about, you know, real life job and be able to pay my bills and make my own living, and also having other interests other than Pokemon Draft League, believe it or not. So all these things kind of accumulate to the point that I feel like I needed to take a step back from Draft League, unfortunately. I feel like I need to take a reset, which is not the first time in my career, which is a very long time that I've been playing Draft League. In a case you're not aware of, and you don't maybe know, maybe because there's a good amount of people that watch me that obviously don't know me from full time of my time of playing in Draft League, in a sense, even going back to like only playing showdown leagues, and just giving you an idea how long I've been playing this league, Draft League as a whole. I started playing at the second half of year of 2015. Basically throughout the Auras time, I believe, or beginning of Auras, somewhere there along the lines. When I watched like Shady Penguin and Mega Mogwai playing in GBA, it's been a hot minute when I've been playing. It's almost, if I continue playing this year, or if I would continue and I would play still in the second half of this year, it would be 10 years basically. That I've been playing in Draft League. Now, currently, there's been quite a few breaks between those periods. I've not been playing Draft League endlessly and every single month for 10 years. That would be kind of maniac thing to do. I'm not one of those that have been able to keep up with that grind. I'm sure there are other people that have been able to do it for that kind of long extension of time, and they just have a different kind of durability and time management than I do to be able to keep up with it. But for myself, I just need to have certain period of times of break and kind of take a step back from this stuff and re-energize myself and potentially always come back again. At least on this case, when I say that I need to take a break, I'm not ready to call it quits entirely, even how long I've been playing this, because there's always a reason when you've been doing something for so long. And usually the reason is that you find enjoyment out of it. And that's definitely the case for me, that I still do find enjoyment from it, even throughout the burnout. So I can recognize that, yeah, I do still love the game. I love doing this. But I just cannot do it right now. Right? I need to have a step back. I cannot continue playing Draft League as I used to when I was younger and when I had more time in my hands. It was a lot easier to manage it. Right now, I have to just make sure that I'm taking this setback, or step back, I should say, not setback. Step back from Draft League scene and make sure that I'm taking care of myself. I'm spending time on other things, taking my mind away from Pokemon in itself, as at least for Draft League stuff, and consider always coming back later on when you feel like you had a good time to rest and, you know, rejuvenate yourself, and consider again that, alright, do I want to jump into this grind again? Do I feel like there are still things that I want to do? And lately there's been a lot of things that I've been able to accomplish in Draft League wise that I thought for a good while I wasn't able to ever do. Like, for example, when the opportunity arose for me to play in BBL this past season, and I was being told that you get to play versus people like Poki AMD, potentially Nexus, potentially Seabed again. Like the for me, Draft League at this point is not necessarily about being the Ash Ketchum, if I could say, like to be the very best that no one ever was and win championships and whatnot. Like winning is great and it's rewarding, especially if you go through the grind as I do for the banner itself. I'm not gonna say that I don't find enjoyment, and that's not like one of the main focuses of it. Of course it is, but considering how long I've been playing, and I feel like I've been able to accomplish a lot for myself already in this case, both in Wi-Fi leagues and in Showdown leagues that I've been playing. I don't feel the necessity that I need to win X amount of championships still before I can be satisfied. Like, I feel like even if I did not win a single championship from starting from this recording and how long I would ever play, I would be still perfectly content with it. I wouldn't find dissatisfaction from it or feel like I have not been able to accomplish what I needed to do. Like, it for me, it's mostly been lately, especially in this generation, it's been more about getting opportunities to play the people that I've been growing to watch by playing the game. Like getting opportunity to go up against PokeMD twice at this point, even though I didn't manage to beat him, which especially last time I feel like I was really close of doing it, and I feel like I could do it still one of these days if I do get the chance to play him again. By chance, by being able to even say that I got to go up against PokeMD and doing it twice already, is already something that I did not think I could ever get a chance to do. Even like a year ago, if he would have asked me, I thought like that opportunity is never gonna come across for me anymore. Like it was almost zero to no chance already before, and for example, a year ago, I never thought it would happen because I felt like I was never in the right place in the right time to do it. And then it happened, and I was like, oh my god, this is amazing. That's a great thing for me to be able to say once I am done with the Draft League, that I'll be able to do something like that. And playing versus Nexus, who I've also watched for like since probably like 2015 or 16. Like I've been watching both of these people basically ever since I started playing Draft League, because I watched Pokemon content as well. Like from Joey's side, I watched the smoke gun stuff that he does, and he still does. He's still in the grind, of course. And Nexus's side, I watched a lot of his playthrough content that he did a lot at the time, and obviously Draft League that came afterwards. So be able to play those kind of people and be able to say that I got the chance to do that, regardless if I win or lost, it's still something that I'm very grateful of. And big thank you to that goes obviously to Jack from BBL at the time, and Ogalbina now for BBL as well. Especially because it was kind of like a last minute invitation because somebody else couldn't play. So all of these things kind of like made me motivated to continue and playing, and that was something that gave me still rewarding and satisfaction to continue doing this. But now that I've been able to almost pretty much play everybody that I wanted to play in that sense, the only two people that I can think of top of my head that I wish I had chance to play them, but I don't think it's ever gonna be possible, would be Shady Penguin and Mega Mogwai. But there's almost zero to no chance that either of them will ever play Draft League anymore. So, or if they do, I doubt I'm gonna be around to be able to witness that and play against them. I probably would be obviously watching it, but I doubt I would have a chance to actually play them. So outside of that, that is pretty much out of the reach for me to be able to accomplish. I feel like I've been able to accomplish exactly what I wanted to do since I started doing upload on YouTube. Because YouTube as a whole, with Wi-Fi leagues in general, have always been for me about getting those kind of opportunities to play against the people that you've grown to watch as a Draft League fan from Wi-Fi scene wise, and always thought of like it would be really cool to get a chance to play them one of these days. And that's basically when I started playing in Generation 7 in Wi-Fi League wise. That was always my first mentality and goal that I wanted to accomplish. And it took a while, but I finally reached there now in 2024. And I guess technically in 2025 still, but mostly in 2024. As in last year, I was able to finally reach that goal that I set out for myself to do when I started doing this kind of stuff in YouTube. So overall, I'm already very satisfied what I've been able to accomplish, long-windedly said. And that's why when I'm gonna be saying that I'm gonna be taking a break and why do I come back or not, it will not be about like me having to set out and accomplish certain things. I would love to come back if I still feel like I have something to give and the game feels rewarding for me to continue doing it. But I cannot promise you right now, as I'm currently recording this, that if that's gonna happen and when it's gonna happen. But I'm not ready to say that I'm like done with Draft League either. Like I'm not ready to call it quits, because considering how long I've been playing this already, like almost 10 years, there's obviously a reason to it why I played for so long, because I really enjoyed it. I really loved playing the game. So off the chance, once I feel like I've been taking a lot of or enough time away from the game, maybe the game interests me again, once again in Draft League wise, and I want to get back into it. So we just have to wait and see. And thank you again for anybody who has been recently subscribed to this channel and started to follow me, or especially for those that who have stuck around for so long and watching me even ever since I started doing this kind of stuff. Like I'm very grateful for all the kind comments that I've gotten. Like I don't remember if I've ever gotten like a negative comment that really stuck out for me, like in a sense that some other like YouTubers, whether they are Draft League players or they do some other stuff, I feel like a lot of people who end up getting the comments end up having some negative comments, and those kind of end up carrying in their minds once they read them. But I cannot remember a single time that I read somebody's comment that made me feel negatively in any way. Obviously I don't have as many comments as a whole that many other people maybe have it for Draft League wise, but the ones that I've gotten, they've all been very supportive and positive, so very I'm very grateful for that, and I'm very thankful for everybody's support up until this point of my journey playing Draft League as a whole here in my channel. So until next time, whether I end up coming back or not, we have to wait and see. And obviously I'm gonna be informing you guys if I do, or maybe end up doing something else in the channel, at least in the meantime when I'm not playing Draft League. I've always considered doing any kind of streaming for example the Pokemon card game that you can play on your mobile. I've been playing that a lot and I enjoy that quite a bit, and that's something always in my mind that I might consider streaming in my channel. Maybe I end up streaming something completely different. We'll have to see. I haven't decided on that side perspective at all, that if I continue doing something in my channel between now and if and when I do start playing Draft League again. But there's only one way to find out, and that is of course for me to figure that out myself and bring it for you guys to see then, whatever I decide to do. But until then, until next time, thank you all for watching this game. I believe, as I'm looking at the time, it may have already ended, or it might be in a closing phases of ending the game in itself. And of course, watching throughout the season. And the Week 9 battle would have happened versus Shaco King, but that game will not happen from my perspective. And from that result, Shaco King may or may not end up winning the regular season title in itself and going as number 1 seed in the playoffs. Which from my side, what I've been able to see him playing, I think he would have fully deserved it regardless if he's first seed or not. I feel like he, from what I've seen as a battler from this season, I feel like for his sake, I do hope he ends up being the first seed, because I think he has been the most consistent one of everybody throughout the regular season, and he deserves the opportunity to pick his opponent in round 1 first, compared to the rest of the lineup, which I'm sure is going to be very tough round 1 already, regardless who he has to pick that he has to play. There's been a very good lineup of coaches this season, and I hope you guys will end up enjoying it, even if I'm not allowed to, obviously, to play it the last game and potentially in playoffs if I would have made it. So until next time, whenever that's gonna be. Thank you again for watching, and I'm gonna be ending it here. I'm gonna be see you guys later.